So, can universities really change the world? In this episode, I'll be looking into how the AWTY 2024 index can transform your approach to research and innovation and why it matters, why it's important for your projects, for your future, for you. But here's the thing, this is more than theory. Real universities are taking real actions, creating European-wide partnerships that actually break the mold of traditional academia. Sorry. In this episode, I'll explore this groundbreaking AWTY 2024 index, and we'll show how it opens innovation and research opportunities. And I'll unpack what that means for you and your research projects. Plus, we'll hear insights from my guest, Ricardo Pinheiro. He's a vice president of the Polytechnic University of Lisbon. And among other things, he highlights how co-creation is about being more than the sum of parts, about building something completely new together. So if you're looking to fund your digital innovations, you don't want to miss the analysis we'll be making of the AMIF 2025 open call. It's a gateway to significant EU support for empowering digital skills among migrants. So, are you ready to rethink what's possible? Stay tuned. This episode can change your perspective completely. And don't forget, subscribe to the podcast on a platform or to my Polisdocs newsletter for all the insights and data on AWTY. The podcast will now break for summer vacations. Actually, I wish I knew how to record this episode by the sea or in the sea because we're having another heat wave here in Portugal. We'll be back for season 4 in September. There will be some changes in season 4 following suggestions from the audience. So I'll try to have more projects disseminating their results. So after all this proposal writing, project execution, report writing, what remains? What's left? What are the results? So the new season is in September. Please share, like, subscribe. Actually, any button will help the podcast convince the algorithm that it must be shown to other people. Hope you enjoy this episode. So, are you looking to position your research or innovation project at the forefront of global transitions? Well, the new AWTY 2024 Global Transitions Index is out. It's published, and it's a game changer. For the first time, you can rely on real data for your choices. So, this report measures how well countries are handling 5 major global transitions. You've heard of the green transition, you heard about the digital transition, and that's basically the twin transitions are what's more common in public speech. But there's another 3 important transitions going on. Globalization is changing. We are transitioning into a new globalization, much different. We are also transitioning to a war economy, like it or not. And you heard about the housing crisis, right? We are transitioning to a new solution for housing, or not, or things will get much worse. So these are the 5 major transitions that are measured in AWTY. And the results in 2024 are very interesting. First, the digital transformation, the digital transition exploded. So over 65% global connectivity. This is creating huge opportunities in tech innovation and digital solutions. You heard about AI, right? On the other hand, the green transition is urgent. And when we go measure, what the data tells us is that it's urgent. Why? Because we're not moving that fast. We are not going that fast. There is some progress. I'm not very optimistic about this transition, the green one. Global emissions remain high, and this shows there's a lot to be done for research in clean energy and sustainable innovations. We're not there yet, not at all. On the other hand, the new globalization patterns really emphasize resilience, particularly regional resilience. And it's opening avenues for innovation in supply chain management and digital trade solutions. So the data shows us that these transitions are also interconnected. Digital accelerates green. The economic stability that comes from globalization, the new globalization, supports the investment in housing or not. And well, conflict resolutions, if it happens, could boost the overall infrastructure and economic development, if it happens. So the report identifies policy actions that are critical for future projects, and this opens new avenues for research projects. The report identifies integrated multidimensional strategies that are open. It identifies targeted support for digital and green tech in developing nations, for instance, and it also identifies how strength global cooperation could really increase innovation. And it will. So if you want the full picture and deeper insights, if you want the data and not the political speeches, if you want the reality, the facts, don't miss the detailed analysis and the actionable recommendations in this PolisDocs newsletter next Friday, August the 8th. You'll want to read it. So subscribe now, get it straight to your inbox, and please also share, like. Every single bottle will help the algorithm notice this newsletter and get it to people who might use it. So you can leverage these insights to guide your projects, to form new strategic partnerships, to lead the change. Stay ahead in your field, read the full AWTY 2024 report, and see where your innovations can make the most impact. Next Friday. Hope you enjoy it. Oh, welcome back to InnoviU, the EU Project Chronicles. Welcome, Ricardo Pinheiro. Thank you for being here. Will you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your institution before anything else?
My name is Ricardo Pinheiro. I'm the Vice President of the Polytechnic University of Lisbon. My main areas of action here in this new job, which I started in late February 2025, is the artistic creation and research, entrepreneurship, and internationalization. The Polytechnic University of Lisbon, we are quite of a big organization. We have 8 schools. So we have music, dance, film, and drama. And then we have engineering, we have education, we have business, we have social communication, and we have health school. So we're quite a diverse institution with which I think gives us many strengths, also many challenges in terms of being articulated all together. But I think that's pretty much it. So we're now involved in so we take internationalization as a very important aspect of our future strategy, and so we're very committed with that. With the internationalization, and we're part of the Eureka consortium, which is a European university.
Yeah, I really want to talk about the Eureka, but before we move on, let me get back to this university. I work in it as well. It's kind of peculiar, not common to have a university where half the schools, 4 out of 8, are from the artistic
Hmm.
side, the artistic teaching.
Yes.
Um, doesn't that make this university kind of unique in Portugal and not very common in Europe?
Yes, it is not very common, especially because some universities, not all of them, but for example, I'm thinking about in the Netherlands. Usually, they have different schools. So usually, universities of applied sciences don't have arts, and the arts are in the conservatoriums. So they are a lot of times they are separated institutions. Even though sometimes the conservatory can be part of a university, of a bigger, broader university. But for example, in Belgium, that happens. But for example, in Holland, sometimes they are just different institutions altogether. So, yes, I think we are very unique. In Portugal, there are some institutions that try to have some arts in them. Maybe most of them really don't have that applied aspect, the
Mhm.
applied side to it. Of course, there are some exceptions, but we are not only an institution with art schools, but with performative art schools. So we also are very committed with a performative arts. So we have these applied knowledge, these applied contents that really makes us, I think, makes us unique and very valuable because it's also great to, in the same institution, have business, have engineering, have education, have social
Yeah,
communication.
I
So
believe
have
that's really.
all these
Uh-huh.
other kind areas of study and bring them together. I think that's also a challenge we have, trying to be more and more connected and be more cooperative between the the organic units, our schools.
I believe that's one of the strong points of these universities, connection between these different areas. But I wanted to ask you, that's your background. You come from an artistic performance
Hmm.
school. Will
I
you
come
tell
from
us
the
a little bit
music school.
about your background?
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, I come from the music school, so I teach. I teach at the music school now. I'm not teaching because I'm in the president's office right now. But I was teaching, and I will continue teaching after leaving the team in the future with a newer when the new rector or new president comes. But yes, I come from the music school. My background is I studied psychology, so I graduated in psychology, but also in music. I studied at Berklee College of Music in Boston, in the US, and I did my PhD here at Universidade Nova de Lisboa in musicology. So there you go. Not in the performative kind of applied side of music studies, but in the more theoretical area of music studies. So it's in the field of musicology, particularly in ethnomusicology. So I did my PhD research on the jazz scene in New York. So it
wow.
was the methodology that I applied. It comes from, of course, from ethnomusicology that has a lot to do with had a lot to do with field work, ethnography, ethnographic interviews. So I had to get out a little bit of myself as a musician, as an artist, and as a creator in order to also embrace that new way of looking at the arts. And then I did my how can I say this? My habilitation or aggregation or habilitation
Hmm.
in Aveiro in music in 2021. So, as I said, I have this musical background, the practical and the creative part of it, but also the more theoretical part of it, and I also have a psychology background.
So when you are in these project meetings, your music background doesn't serve you, doesn't help you to try to bring new views to the table? Because I'm
Yes.
wondering that you'll be mostly sitting with economists, lawyers, engineers. Aren't you sometimes the how can I say without being offensive?
The artist,
Yeah, yeah,
the
exactly.
crazy artist in the. Actually, I think it helps me a lot because I come from the area of jazz, not only in terms of my PhD area, but also from my background area in terms of practical studies. So I think jazz helps me a lot with the improvisation, with co-creation, which is one of the values of Eureka, building something together, sometimes getting into the unknown and trying to solve a problem and do something together and really rely on the other people, listening to other people. That's very important in jazz. Not only be playing by myself, but listening to what other people are saying musically and trying to use that also as a way of changing and guiding what I'm saying as well. So a lot of things, a lot of the way how music functions, I think helps me a lot when I'm not doing music, when I'm having meetings as a vice president or as a researcher or as a or even in the Eureka kind of environment. I think music helps me a lot actually. So
Mhm.
it's always there. It's always there in some way or another.
Okay, so you got into this new job, and as part of it, you've been working in Eureka. That's the University Alliance. We've been having quite some interest from our audience about university alliances. What kind of
Hmm.
projects are these, after all? Why can't regular Erasmus Plus project do the same things? So, will you
Hmm.
tell us a little bit about this specific University Alliance? Eureka
Hmm.
or Eureka
Hmm.
is a partnership of what? How many partners? What
Hmm.
partners? And
Okay.
what is it meant to do? What's the goal?
Okay. Okay. So if you allow me, I can go a little bit with talking
Sure.
a little bit before. So we Eureka means Urban Research Knowledge Alliance. We got into the alliance in 2019, but the alliance, the alliance was only approved in the call of 2023. So we will have 4 years of the alliance, which is financed right now. So from 2024 to 2028. Of course, this alliance doesn't come alone. It comes in the context where we have 64 alliances in Europe. And these 64 alliances in Europe, they have 560 institutions. So it's a lot.
Whoa.
It's a lot of institutions, but it's not a lot if we compare with all the institutions in Europe, which is around 5,000 institutions. So from around 5,000 universities in Europe or higher education institutions in Europe, there's only 560 in 64 alliances. In Portugal, we have a pretty good rate of being part of alliances. So in Portugal, two-thirds of the universities or two-thirds of the higher education institutions are integrated in European alliances. There's going to be a new financing period in 2029. And these European alliances, and our European alliance, brings together not only higher education institutions, but also other public and private institutions together. So the idea is not to work alone or aside from society, but it's important to work together because this is one of our main strengths as for us as a university of universities of applied sciences is really to deal with applied knowledge, right? Applied created knowledge and co-created knowledge, and for that we need other institutions that are outside the higher education institutions and bring them together in the alliance. So I think these new consortiums that have been created, it shows that there are structural changes in the higher education systems in Europe, that there's the need for more international cooperation, and the idea and the role of these alliances is to foster this wider cooperation, wider international cooperation. This is why this is so important for us as a goal, a strategic goal, because we really at IPL feel that we need to follow up more and dive more into international corporations. So in our specific alliance, Eureka, which, as I said, means Urban Research Knowledge Alliance, is composed of six full partners. These six full partners are Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences, Frankfurt University of Applied Sciences, Ghent, which is the from Ghent in Belgium, Metropolia University of Applied Sciences, VSB Technical University of Ostrava, and of course us. So the Polytechnic University of Lisbon. We also have associate partners, which are Edinburgh Napier University, University of Applied Sciences BFI Vienna, New Bulgarian University, Odessa National Economic University from Ukraine, and the University of Bari from Italy. We also have other partners. Each institution has brought into the alliance their partnership, especially from some local institutions. For example, the mayor's office of each city. So we here in the IPL, we brought to the alliance the municipality of Lisbon, the municipality of Oeiras, municipality of Cascais, also Polytech, ID, IND. We are also have as partner the EURASHI, which is the European Association of Institutions in Higher Education, also HERIN, ERRIN, the European Regions and Research Innovation Network. So there's a budget. This is financed through Erasmus Plus. We have a budget of 6.4 million euros for these 4 years, which have been distributed throughout all the partners and the higher education institutions.
4 years. You said
Four
it's 4
years,
years.
yes. That can be extended because there's going to be another call at the end of 2028 and will begin in 2029. So we really hope to continue this relationship.
Sure.
So this is not supposed to be a relationship that will end. It's not a we don't want a divorce after 4 years, so we want to continue our relationship throughout the next medium term or long term. So this is our goals. About specifically Eureka, we are very committed. Of course, we're all applied sciences universities, so we're kind of I think that's one of our main characteristics. So we are not only fundamental sciences alliance. We're not a fundamental science alliances. We all have this applied substract or this applied character to the way we function and as our goals in teaching and researching. So this is very important. We're very committed with sustainability, with smart cities. This is why we call Urban Research Knowledge Alliance, and this is our main goal. Yes.
That's a lot of people, a lot of institutions. That's a nice budget, and it's 4 years. So, what are you going to do? What is the alliance going to do in these 4 years with all these people?
Yes, we have, of course, as any other project, we have some KPIs, so key performance indicators. First, maybe I can talk a little bit about how the alliance is organized and what are the main working packages, the main areas where we're gonna develop. And we're developing. So in terms of governance, we have a steering committee, which is composed by the rectors or the presidents of the institutions, the higher education institutions. Also, we have a representation from the students and And then we also have the Students' Council, and we also have an Advisory Council. Then we have the Executive Committee, which has the coordination, the institution coordinators, and the leaders of different working packages. So this is the Executive Committee, what makes really the alliance function. And then we also have another governing body, which is the Quality and Sustainability Task Forces. We have task forces for education, study administration, and research and innovation. And so below the Student Council, Steering Committee, Advisory Council, we have the Executive Committee and the Quality and Sustainability Task Forces, Education, Study Administration, and Research and Innovation. And then below the Executive Committee, we have the working packages. And the working packages are divided. We have 7 working packages. The first one has to do with the project management. So it's,
Sure.
well, it has to do with the management of the PICA. Then we also developing frameworks for students and staff engagement in the Eureka activities. And also we are also working on developing frameworks for external stakeholder engagement. So all this working package, this third working package, has to do with how can we work together in terms of involving more people in the process. So this is not just a top kind of project, but really to have everybody involved. Then on working package 4, it's called Inclusive and Connected Campus. As I was saying about the shared pool of resources on work package 2, we also want to everybody feel we are like a huge campus, and a connected campus, an inclusive connected campus. So it's everybody's supposed to feel home. If you're from Portugal, if you're from IPL and you're in Helsinki, or if you're from Ghent and you are in Amsterdam, you're supposed to feel like you're on your own. You are in your own campus, in your campus. So this is also a big task, but it's important
This is
for
a
us.
good time to interrupt you. Sorry, but it's
okay.
a good time to put you this question because I've been talking with other university alliances. We had Lily Bittencourt here telling us all about the alliance she's working for, the Tech Plus, I think. I'm not sure about the name now. Sorry, Lily. But the thing is, she said very clearly, they have a goal of becoming one university.
Yes.
Merging.
So this is
in the end of the University Alliance. Is that in any way also an objective for Eureka? Or is it being discussed anyway?
Yes, it is an objective, but also it is also an objective to keep our nuances, our own characteristics also present. So the idea is not to erase what makes IPL, or what makes Metropolia, or what makes Ghent, but it's to build something stronger than the sum of the parts. So yes, but not to. I like to look at that idea you are suggesting, but not as let's do something like everybody does the same thing, and we erase the particular aspects of each university, but also value and keep what makes each institution also interesting and different. So also, this is why this is called the WP4, the Inclusive and Connected Campus. So the idea is to be inclusive, to bring the special aspects of everybody and every institution together, and not to erase and make it something totally, how can I say this, equal. So the idea is really to include people, include the main characteristics and nuances of each institution. For example, WP4 has as task inclusive mobility practices and procedures, inclusive and connected campus, alignment of mobility and student administration processes. So in these terms of trying to really be together and at the same page when we're talking about mobility and student administration. For example, recognition of credentials. How
Hmm.
do you recognize do this process of recognition of credentials? Developing flexible study paths. This is very important for us. I think this is very important for us here at IPL. We really need to start working. We already started, but I think we really need to work harder, a little bit harder on this flexible study paths and also the implementation of European Student Card initiative.
Absolutely. Go on. You still have three more work packages. How
Yeah.
do you involve staff, people, not just staff, people from all these universities? How can they get involved in all
Mhm.
these, in this
Okay. This is
directly?
a very that's a very important question, which is it doesn't have an easy answer or a simple answer, and it has been debated a lot in the working package 3 and 4. But I think it is very important that the working package leaders can help do that, and the institution coordinators, of course, but the working package leaders who is leading the several working packages can have that view of and the outreach of getting people knowing their own institution and saying this person can be really good to be involved in this project, in this new program we're developing, or this new research project we're working on. This can be an important asset, an important person to work with us. And I would say our one of our most important challenges is really bringing people together. So
Mm.
really putting people in contact. So this is why we do our connects every year. Next year we will organize the connects here in Lisbon. Last year, yeah, and you were there. The connects meeting was in Helsinki. So one of the, for example, objectives of these yearly meetings is really to put people in close connection. So, of course, there's other things every institution organizes. For example, the Edu forums, which are forums for inside, but also can bring people from the outside that can participate in these more small events on that are usually online. So there's a lot of actions that are taking place in order to really connect people. And as I said, this is really a big challenge to really bring everybody together and putting people in contact with each other. So I would say that the leaders of the working packages have a very important role here. So this applied substance, this applied character of our institutions is very important for the alliance. And also, still in the working package 5, we also want to promote entrepreneurship and innovation through a joint incubator program. We have a European project that was funded. We just had a couple of months ago the news that we had won this European program, this European research program that was funded, and that is also very important in terms of entrepreneurship. It's called You Innovate. And You Innovate is a research program that is focused on in developing these entrepreneurship solutions together. So this is the working package 5. It's a strong working package because it's a working package that is dedicated to research, and also very important for us for the alliance is working package 6, because working package 6 is dedicated to education. So we're not only doing research, but we're also trying to innovate with new research, with new education solutions, with new educational ideas. So the working package 6 is called Challenge Based Collaborative Education. It is led by Frankfurt. And the main tasks, the main ideas is to really build staff capacity for digital and green competences and diversity and inclusion skills. Also, develop, which is we already did. Now we have to think about implementing it. A joint educational framework for challenge-based and collaborative learning. So we really want to focus and have this link between research and education. So really focus on these challenge-based and collaborative learning. So how really can we depart from challenges in the
Hmm.
society and bring them to research and bring them to education settings? Um, Also, collaborative micro credentials. So we are developing a series of collaborative short-term educational programs. We also are developing wider, bigger collaborative programs such as joint masters, PhDs, etc.,
Hmm.
and also interdisciplinary and international work placement. So this also is also an important aspect for us in terms of working package 6. Finally, the working package 7 has to do with communication, dissemination, and
Yeah, it's
impact.
the
And
the
it's
classic last last work
yes,
package.
yes,
Every
and
project,
it's
the last one. It shouldn't be the last one in my view, but okay. And that's
yeah,
probably
I agree.
why communication is not that strong in EU projects. But okay,
Yes, I agree.
well,
But
Ricardo,
we
we
have
are.
something that's going for us, which is we IPL, the Polytechnic University of Lisbon. We are the leaders of W Package 7. So we are really working hard in terms of making a difference, and I think we are. So which are the main tasks of the Working Package 7? Set up the communications ecosystem again within all the alliance. Then also focus on awareness, communication, and outreach. Strengthen the outcomes and impacts, and develop collaboration and synergies with other European university initiatives and projects. So as an European university, we're not alone. We're not in a bubble. We also need to be involved with other European universities. So
Mhm.
there are several levels here, which is interesting. Which is the level, for example, of our schools. Then we have the level of the for example, the Polytechnic University of Lisbon. Then we have the level of the European University, and we have the level of the all European universities.
Yeah.
So we need to work and operate within all of these levels.
Well,
Um,
Ricardo, we are
I, I'm not listening. I think.
With all these work packages, which you need to perform in these 4 years, uh, where do you want to be in 4 years? What
Okay.
are your expected results?
Okay. So we have as key performance indicators inside within the alliance. We want to reach 50% of student mobility and 30% of staff mobility. It can be physical, virtual, or blended. So we have several blended BIPs, blended intensive programs. So this is a quite ambitious indicator, but I hope you can get close to it at least. Then we also want to develop at least one small course of one ECTS about sustainability for all the community, Eureka community. Actually, this program, this micro credential, is already created. We're just still studying a little bit how can we implement this to every student, virtually every student in the alliance. It's also kind of a big challenge because we have different
Mhm.
universities with different schools with different governing bodies, so it's kind of a challenging goal, but I hope we can achieve it. And then we also want to create this virtual campus with at least 70 modules that are available for everybody. So 70, yes, learning
70,
of
70.
70, which is
That's a
also,
lot.
yes, it's ambitious. It's ambitious. Our KPIs are ambitious. Also the development of a joint educational offer, 18 courses or 18 programs of short 18 programs or 18 courses of short duration from 3 to 5 ECTSs, 6 joint courses, 6 joint programs, so 2 minors, 3 double degrees, and 1 master. And the creation of 3 centers of expertise, we talked about this earlier, so in which we're gonna foster the interaction between teachers, researchers, students, and local communities. And these 3 topics, the main topic of each of these 3 centers of expertise are climate neutral and urban communities, transition to circular society, innovative governance models, and citizen engagement. Also, we want to submit 12 projects or 12 financed projects with at least 3 Eureka partners. We already achieved 3 or 4 of these projects, but we still are working hard to get to the number of 12, and also co-create 500 solutions of carbonic neutrality.
500.
500, yes. This
again, that's a huge number.
Yes, I would say this is the KPI, the most ambitious KPI, the 500 solutions for carbonic neutrality. But yes, it's like I said, these are ambitious KPIs, but we are committed and we're working together a lot in order to fulfill these KPIs, or at least to be very close to them.
Well, my issue with KPIs is always I can't resist asking this question. Okay, you achieve all these KPIs in 4 years. In the end, how will the world be different?
Yes.
How will this change the world?
Well, the world will change anyway, but we can help to change the world, I think, especially through working packages. Of course, the working packages which are related to inclusiveness and connected campus and engagement of students and stakeholders, but these are more outcomes to the inside of the alliance. But to the outside of the alliance, I would say the most impactful or the outcomes with most impact, or the indicators with most impact, will be related for sure with working package 5 and working package 6. So with research and education. So we creating new, innovative, interesting, co-created programs, study programs, and study offers, and also helping to solve problems from the community, from the municipalities, from the enterprises and the companies, and really bringing their reality into our reality and bringing our reality into their reality. So hopefully we can contribute to a better world and better connect research, education, and society, and the companies, and the municipalities, and the people, which is the most important thing.
Absolutely. So you've mentioned this before, and now you mentioned it again. How important is this co-creation thing for these university alliances? And maybe you should elaborate a little bit for someone who is not familiar with these words. What do they mean? What do you mean by co-creation? You want to have students participating in the creation of the courses?
Yes, it means that the European Alliance and every European Alliance shouldn't be the sum of each part. The European Alliance shouldn't be joining together what they're doing in Finland, and joining what they're doing in Belgium, and bringing together what they do in the Netherlands, and bringing together what they're doing in the Czech Republic or Czechia, but really to build something together. So the idea is not to bring what we already do, what we already know together, but is to depart from that, but build something new together. So I would say the co-creation is actually is one of them. The Eureka mottos, one of the most important values from our in our university alliance, and it really means everything because it's just not a sum of several parts. We need to be more than the sum of these parts. We need to build something from that, but something bigger, wider, more impactful, actually, with more impact.
The way I see it, this is an area where you don't really have models to follow. When I'm talking about university alliances, you don't really see that being done anywhere else. So it's in a way, it's how Europe can differentiate itself. But does that mean that we are kind of making up as we go on, inventing what we should do and then doing it?
Well, I don't know. Of course, there's planning. We need to plan where we want to go, where we want to head. But of course, there's going to be also a component of surprises will come up, new ideas will come up. And also, I think it is very important. Remember, we were talking about me being from the arts. I think also the process is very important. Not only the goals. Of course, we need to have some goals, and we need to have that as a lighthouse, as a direction, as something, as an indicator. But I think also it is also important the process, the growing, the together growing process. That's why I think the co-creation is very important, because the co-creation is the process. The process is of co-creating together, not just to have 500 solutions for carbonic neutrality, but how do we together, how do we work out this, and how can we create this together? So I would say this is a very, 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 very important aspect of the process.
Okay. Well,
also has to do with the creation of educational programs and educational offers, also the developing of research and research questions and solutions. So yes, this co-creation, I think it's something that really is present throughout the whole working packages.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ricardo, we are really over time. I think this is the longest episode we ever recorded.
I'm sorry.
I've been abusing you. I'm sorry for that.
No. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much for all these contributions. We'll have your contacts in the podcast notes so that people can get in touch and know more about the project or eventually other projects. I really want to thank you for this interview, and I hope to see you soon. Okay.
Thank you, Fernando. I hope to see you soon too. Thank you.
Are you looking to harness the power of digital innovation to support migrants and boost your EU project's impact? Today, let's talk about a transformative funding opportunity that's all about empowering migrants through improved digital skills. The AMIF 2025 Digital Skills Call aims to bridge the digital divide for migrants, enhancing their integration, employability, and access to vital services. This is not just about digital literacy, it's about unlocking opportunities for sustainable long-term integration. The call focuses on projects that boost migrants' basic and professional digital skills, addressing key barriers like language differences, digital exclusion, and lack of internet access. Improved digital literacy among migrants, especially women, the elderly, and people with disabilities. Enhanced employability through specialized digital skill development. Increased access to digital public services, facilitating faster and smoother integration. Who can apply? Eligible applicants include public bodies, educational institutions, civil society organizations, and even private entities, as long as they're part of a consortium of at least 5 entities from 5 different EU member states. Remember, profit-making entities can participate, but not as coordinators. Minimum 5 entities from 5 EU member states. Public, private nonprofits, and international organizations eligible. Profit-making entities can join as partners only. The total available budget for this call is 5 million euros, with each project potentially receiving between 1 million euros and 2 million euros. Total budget, 5 million euros. Proposal budget range, 1 million euros to 2 million euros. Deadline, the 16th of September 2025, 17 o'clock CET. Proposals must clearly outline innovative approaches, stakeholder engagement, and measurable impacts. Successful projects will not only attract funding but also significantly enhance migrants' integration and digital participation across Europe. Ready to dive deeper? Check out the Funding and Tenders portal for full details and submission guidelines. Don't miss this chance to digitally empower migrants and build stronger communities across the EU. Stay innovative, stay impactful, and see you next time on InnoView.
InnoVU, the U Project Chronicles, is a weekly video podcast. Please subscribe the Polixox newsletter to receive every podcast episode. And if you like receiving it, please press like in whatever platform you are watching or listening. Also, please share InnoVU and Polixox with anyone you feel will enjoy it. Credits: author and host Fernando C. Gaspar, music Hugo Gaspar, Lisbon, Portugal, 2024. Reach us by email or DM.